a famous story, you may know it. In the beginning of the Nesius of the Rebbe Rashab, 10 years, this is significant because for the first 10 years, it seems that of deference to his older brother, the Rebbe Zalman, the Razor, the Rebbe Rashab did not want to formally accept the Nesius. So the story goes that in the beginning of this Nesius, that he had entered him, Yechidus, and he did a bracha for a certain thing. It was very serious, if I'm not mistaken, a very sick child. A very serious matter. He needed Isayyiris Rachamim Rabbim. And the Rebbe responded to the Rebbe Rashab, he can't help him. So the Yid left broken and weeping bitterly. Who does, you know the story? Yeah. He encounters the Razor, the Rashab's elder brother of Zalman, and he says to him, why are you crying? So he's telling him the whole story. Now we'll see why it's significant in the early years. So the Razor went into his brother, he would have said this later, but he said, this is the Seder. A Yid comes and asks for a bracha and you tell him you can't help him. And he goes, to the extent that he goes out and he's weeping from the great pain and sorrow. So the Rebbe Rashab put on his gartel and said, no, please ask the Yid to come back in. He gave him a bracha, and the bracha was Mekuyim. You heard the story? So the Rebbe asks the obvious question, why didn't he give him the bracha at the outset? It's right, Mamish, the Maimon are learning that. Why not give him the mishpat, the kosis? So why not give him the bitush? Why not give him the bracha to begin with? And not only that, how does he get the bracha in the end, having crushed the person and he's broken and crying? He adds in the brackets, because even if you would say that Rebbe couldn't help him, he could at least have lifted his spirits with words of chizuk and betachon. Like it says in Gemara, that even if a sword is on a person's neck, the person shouldn't refrain from praying from rachamim. So at least lift up, encourage him. So the Rebbe says that the explanation is that this Yid at that matzev was not a keli to kabel such a big bracha that he required, I guess, totally beyond teva. Because of his ruchnistic matzev, he wasn't a keli. And therefore the Rebbe said, I can't help you. But hearing these words, Adarabah, this broke him and humbled him, and he poured out his bitter heart before the Eibishter, and that made him a new Metzias, and now he was a keli to get the bracha. He brings in the bracket, in the footnote here, because I never mentioned at the time, laws about the Daya, famous Balchuva, the classic Balchuva in the Gemara, there was no sin he didn't do, and the story there that there was a Zaina that he heard charges gold, one gold coin or 5 gold coins, I don't remember. So he went and he would cross 7 seas to, another story, he crossed 7 seas to be with her. And when he was with her, before anything happened, she says to him, the whole world, she exhaled. She said, just like I cannot recover my breath, Allah's about to die, will never be recovered, never be received by heaven. So, the story there, so he left her, it was broken, he called out to the stars and the sun, the moon to help him, and the others and so on. They all said, we can't help you. She said, it's up to me. He put his head between his knees, which means complete bittul, and Yotza Nishmosa, he died. The Rebbe said, but the Rebbe heard about it, Rebbe cried, and he said, yes, that some people toil a whole life because a heavenly voice went out and said that the Rabbi, they call it the Rabbi, Allah's about to die, has a place in Elam Haba. The Rebbe cried and said the person can toil his whole life. for it and here in one moment. What's the story? The same story. Her rejection of him. This broke him, and that's what elicited his meridic tshuva, that he was able to transform his life. Likewise in the story here with the Rabbi Rashab. A wonderful day, everybody. A wonderful day. So Zion, the redemption, and Tisha B'Av, a big celebration.